right, can I have your attention, please? In order to see the program, if you are connected to the Mile High Academy guest Wi-Fi, you will need to disconnect and then reconnect again. So if you're connecting to the guest Wi-Fi, disconnect and then reconnect again. We will be starting in 1 minute or less.
Hello, Mile High students, teachers, parents, and communities. My name is Kevin, and I would like to welcome you to our graduation ceremony for Class 2020. This is the day we've all been highly anticipating in the past 4 years, and I'm so happy for us to celebrate this big milestone together. Please bow your heads with me for prayer. Dear Jesus, thank you for helping us go through our high school journey. Thank you for allowing us to live in your marvelous light. Please join us as we celebrate this big milestone together and run across the finish line. We enjoy every aspect of this journey you brought to us, no matter if it is happy, sad, painful, or joyful. Please allow your Holy Spirit to be with us as we continue our journey. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Good morning. For those of you that don't know, my name is Jocelyn and I am the senior class president. I wanted to start off by thanking each of you joining us on this very special day, whether it is here in person or online. It is an honor to speak before all of you today. I know this is definitely not the way any of us thought graduation was going to go, but I know we are all grateful that it was able to happen, even under these circumstances. This year was definitely not what any of us thought it was going to be. I know that at the beginning of this school year, I was so excited because it was our senior year and it was supposed to be our best year yet. But if I'm honest, it was far from that. From the tragic loss of our classmate and friend Maya, to having to end the school year through remote learning due to a global pandemic, this year has been filled with many challenges. There are many things that we as a class have had to overcome, things that no senior class should go through. But despite all that has happened, we have all still been able to make memories that will last a lifetime. I would like to take the time now to share a few words and memories about each of my classmates. I know there's a lot of us, so I'll try to keep it short. Anna, one of my favorite memories with you was when we were on senior survival and we were playing Mafia, and you were just super into it and you were very persuasive, especially when you convinced everyone to vote me off even though I was part of the Mafia along with you. Yeah, I haven't forgotten about that. Lucas, one of my favorite memories with you was when I was in the comments and I saw you walking up with a big sign and you asked Andrew to homecoming jokingly, but I just thought it was so funny. McJovens, something that I really appreciated about you this year was the fact that you always came and said hi to me when you got to school in the morning, and even though that doesn't seem like a really big deal, it meant a lot to me. Ryan, there are so many memories that we've made, so it's very hard to pick one to talk about, but one of my most favorite was being able to travel to Europe with you and eat so much food, like crepes and paninis, and being able to steal a lot of your food, even though I know you got annoyed with me, but it just tasted that much better when it was yours and not mine. Andrew, you moved to Mile High this year, but honestly it feels like you've been with us for forever. You clicked so well with our class, and I'm very glad I got to know you this year. I always enjoyed your big hugs and your funny jokes. Frederick, one of the first things that come to mind when I think of you is how you always made us laugh. I'm thankful that you could always put a smile on my face. Abby, I've loved all of these years with you, and one of my favorite things that I think about when it comes to our friendship is when we used to twin like almost every day back in middle school. Looking back at it now, it was kind of cringy, but we were so cute, and I love looking back at all of our pictures. Jaya, one of my favorite memories with you was during music trip last year when we went to the zoo, and you, Vasi, and I were trying to make a music video, and Vasi and I were really struggling, even though we were in the back, but you really knew what you were doing, and I just remember we were laughing the entire time, and it was a lot of fun. I don't think we ever posted that to our YouTube channel, so it's okay. April, you have some of the nicest handwriting I've ever seen. I always loved grading your homework because it was so neat and pretty. I always found it inspiring the way you came to Mile High barely knowing English and how much you've improved. KJ, one of my favorite memories with you was on Senior Survival when we got put into a group together and we were able to talk and I was able to get to know you a lot more. And throughout the school year, I always appreciated that you were always willing to help in whatever. Rachel, one of my favorite memories with you was last year when we performed a song of Hamilton together for Honor Symposium. Honestly, I never thought I would ever be rapping a song in front of an audience, but it wasn't that bad because I got to do it with you. And all those that were there can testify that we killed it. Vasti, we've been friends for a long time, so picking a favorite memory is so hard. Honestly, one of the funniest things that I can remember from our friendship is in 6th grade when we were mad at each other for like the first half of the year for a reason that I cannot remember, but I'm very glad we got over that because of where we are now, even if it is really awkward for us to hug. Sorry. Oh my gosh, okay. Emily, I've loved being able to play volleyball with you. One of my favorite memories was when either of us would get a perfect pass and then the other got a perfect kill. It was great that we were able to work so well together, and I will definitely miss being on the court with you. Amanda, I don't think I would have gotten through A&P without you this year. I'm so glad we were able to spend so much time together in class and doing labs together. Also, praise team with you in middle school was the best, and I'm glad we were able to sing A Mighty Fortress one more time. Talia, I've loved being with you these last few years and getting to know you. You are a very kind and caring person, especially when it comes to kids, and I admire that a lot. I'm grateful that you were always willing to help me whenever I needed you. Kevin, one of the first things that comes to mind when I think about you is how smart you are. If I ever need help using Bitcoin, I know who I'm calling first. Maya, some of my favorite memories with Maya happened during soccer season last year. She was so competitive and she was definitely not afraid to get rough, which inspired me. She was always so tough and I was so grateful to be on the team with her. She was always so fun during practices, especially one time where Coach Daniel brought water balloons and he got her and she chased him until she got him back. I think about her every day. A lot of things were supposed to happen this year. We were supposed to go on choir trip to New York in April. We were supposed to go on class trip last week. We were supposed to enjoy these last 2 months with our teachers in the classroom. We were supposed to finish the school year in person. We were supposed to have a normal graduation. And Maya was supposed to be graduating with us today. I can't explain why all of this has happened, but I can say that God can and will use all of this in incredible ways, even if we can't see it now. Even though there were so many things that were supposed to happen, there are so many greater things to come. Today being an example. Today we are graduating high school. We finally made it. Although it feels like just yesterday we were all little freshmen, so excited yet so nervous for high school. This is a milestone in each of our lives. We are transitioning into adulthood, which is honestly very terrifying for a lot of us. It's kind of ironic. We are the class of 2020, the class of 2020 vision. But we are graduating in a time where the future seems so unclear, which makes it just that much scarier. But to my fellow classmates, I would like to encourage you to face the uncertainty head on, holding God's hand. Our teachers and parents have done a great job instilling in us to always keep God as a number one priority in our lives. Although it is very difficult sometimes, it is very important, especially now, as we are making the decisions that will determine the path of our lives. And by keeping God at the center, we can get through the toughest of challenges, similar, maybe even worse, to the ones we have already faced this year alone. And now, as we all prepare to go our separate ways, we should keep our class aim in mind, which says, separate paths, same destination. No matter what we are doing and where life takes us, we should always aim to all be together again in heaven. Congratulations, class of 2020. We made it.
I'm going to be reading this on behalf of McJovens. Maya, thank you so much for being there for me. Thank you for encouraging me to get out of my comfort zone and be the person I am today. Thank you for always telling me to fight for what I want, because it won't always be there waiting for me. Thank you for just being yourself and keeping it real with me. One of the best memories I had with Maya was when her mom brought us Taco Bell, and that didn't end well. If you've ever had Taco Bell before, you know what I'm talking about. Another best memory I had was when Rachel, Maya, and I were on senior survival. We thought we were lost, and we were ready to give up until Maya decided to call her mom and grandpa. Maya, Rachel, and I were panicking until we kept walking and ran into Mrs. Eno. Maya kept pushing me and Rachel to finish the hike, even though we didn't want to. And I kept stopping every 5 seconds to catch my breath. I'm going to miss those days when I used to drop you off at home and you would just blast music in the car and scream the lyrics at my face. I'm going to miss those movie nights that we would have every weekend and just those deep conversations talking about life. I'm going to miss you walking in the school doors with your big backpack that was twice the size, holding it with just one strap over your shoulder. I'll always miss you, your beautiful smile, and your laugh. I love you forever, and I'll always have your back like you had mine.
Maya Evelyn Pena, where do I start? When I first met Maya during our sophomore year, I didn't speak to her at all. My first encounter with Maya was when someone had informed me that she had said something about me. And my first thought was, okay, so she's obviously saying something bad about me. But little did I know that Maya had actually complimented me and said that she was in love with my voice, which was a weird thing to compliment someone on. I was so touched because no one had ever said that to me. So from that point, I had to get to know her, but I had to wait till a year after. When Maya and I had started hanging out and talking, it was effortless. Nothing was awkward or forced. Everything just flowed so perfectly for us. Maya and I had a grand time together in choir. It was countless of laughs and talks while we were supposed to be singing. This is probably why we got in trouble so much. I could stand here and talk about all the memories that I experienced with Maya, but I don't think anyone wants to sit out here any longer than she would want. Maya quickly became one of my best friends. She was a person who I could go to for anything, and I knew she wouldn't judge me, whether it was about a simple problem or something very complex. Another memory that I have with Maya was on my 17th birthday. She had spent the whole day with me. Even though we were stuck at school, she ordered me food, we took a nap together, and I love looking back at our pictures from that day and realizing how carefree it was. This was the first and last birthday that I would spend with her. If I had known that would be the last birthday, I would have continued it all day. The next memory I want to share about Maya is during our choir trip. This was the first major trip that we had taken that year. And to start that trip off, I had accidentally thrown up, and I still blame Maya for this because I looked at her and told her before it happened that I needed a trash bag, and she just kept staring at me. And I had two heads growing out of me or something. But then afterwards, Allie and Maya both allowed me to sit on top of them, and we just continued to enjoy the rest of our trip together. We had a lot of fights that trip, but that was just because our personalities matched perfectly together. However, I love you is what fixed everything, despite all the problems that we had. Another memory that I would like to share about Maya was during that trip, we all just used to stay in the bathroom together and get things done because it was just easier. And on one of the nights, Maya was in the shower and we were all just talking. And next thing you know, you see Maya slipping as she's trying to grab onto the water, the shower curtain, everything to keep herself from falling. Little did we both know that the reason that she fell was because she slipped on my bar of soap. But you know what? She doesn't need to know about that ever. Maya had such a beautiful soul and golden heart for the people that she loved and cared for. There was never a time with her close friends that Maya would desert them. Never. Maya loved her family the most. Of course, Maya had her issues from time to time, but you knew how much she cared and loved for them when she spoke of them. Maya was also a very determined person. There was never a task that I saw that she would back down from. I think her stubbornness contributed to that determination. During our senior year, we took a class trip to backpack for 2 days. I was already dreading going, and I knew that if Maya did not come, then I would hate it even more. However, she pulled through last minute. We spent the hikes talking and laughing, and her encouraging McJones and I to continue on. We spent time laughing in our tents and talking about anything that came up. There was never a dull moment with Maya. And I think a lot of people would attest to that. Maya's life was cut very short on January 14th, 2020. And I don't want to speak about that day because I'm still fighting a lot of anger from it. I remember the last moment between Maya and I. And she had told me before I went to class to have a good day and smiled at me with her beautiful smile. And I still remember those moments whenever I feel very sad about what happened. All of us were to graduate together and move on with the next chapter of our lives. This year has turned into a really bad movie that doesn't seem to end. From the death of one of our best friends to Corona to switching to remote classes to having our graduation be like this. Maya would have laughed at this whole thing and would have thought it was kind of dumb, but I know that she would have been happy to receive her diploma with all her best friends. I love Maya so much, and this year is dedicated to her. The year that she was supposed to end, a chapter of her life, to begin a new one. Now all her best friends are continuing that chapter for her, in memory of her and in honor of her. Thank you from all of us for the support and love that all of you gave us. It really shows how much Maya's love shows through everyone. Thank you.
There's no question that our class has been through a lot this year. The main challenge we faced was losing a classmate, a best friend, a sister, a daughter, and a beautiful girl with the most energetic personality. Maya Pena joined MHA her sophomore year just a few days before I did. I remember meeting her and noticing the wall she had up when she first came to Mile High. I'm so glad I got the chance to grow close to Maya and watch her open up, put that wall down, and build amazing relationships with our school's community. I even specifically remember my sister picking me up from the first day of school, and I told her I already made a good friend. I was so excited. Maya was adventurous, caring, and always cracking jokes which showed off her beautiful smile and laugh. One of my favorite memories with Maya was when it was the Friday of the first week I went to Mile High. I didn't know that we got done at school at 1 instead of 3:30, so I didn't have a ride home. Since Maya was so welcoming, she instantly told me to just come hang out at her house, even though we hadn't known each other for that long. Her sister Lexi picked us up, and we all just danced and listened to music the whole way home. I was so excited that I made a friend so fast. From there on, Maya and I were inseparable. Maya is the most understanding and empathetic, but also the most tough and fierce girl I know. I wish I had a little more time with her, but I will always hold her memories in my heart forever. I also want to thank all of the Mile High admin, teachers, and families that have been amazingly supportive during this tragedy. T-shirts, bracelets, socks, yearbook spreads, and even our blue cords and the countless bouquets of flowers that were made for Maya help us keep our life remembered. So thank you to all who have donated their time and energy for Maya, her family, and our school. It's funny because Maya would hate all the attention she's getting right now, but she definitely deserves it. I miss you so much, Maya. Life isn't the same without you. I would do anything to have you here graduating with us. I am so thankful you came to Mile High and gave us all a chance to get to know the beautiful person you are. Psalms 34:18 reads, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and save those who are crushed in spirit." I love you, Maya Pena, and you'll always be one of my closest friends.
Come stop your crying, it will be alright. Just take my hand, hold it tight. I will protect you from all around you. I will be here, don't you cry. For one so small, you seem so strong. My arms will hold you, keep you safe and warm. This bond between us can't be broken. I will be here, don't you cry. 'Cause you'll be in my heart. Yes, you'll be in my heart. From this day on, just what they can't explain. I know we're different, but deep inside us, we're not that different at all. And you'll be in my heart. Yes, you'll be in my heart. From this day on, now and forevermore. Don't listen to them, 'cause what do they know? We need each other to have to hold. They'll see in time. I know when destiny calls you, you must be strong. I may not be with you, but you got to hold on. They'll see in time. I know we'll show them together, 'cause you'll be in my heart. Believe me, you'll be in my heart. I'll be there from this day on, now and forevermore. Ooh, you'll be in my heart. You'll be here in my heart always. I'll be with you, be here in my heart. I'll be there always, always. I'll be with you, but I'll be there for you always, always and always. Just look over your shoulder. Just look over your shoulder. Just look over your shoulder. I'll be there always.
Hello, family and friends. I'm Anna Carveo, and I'm so pleased to be with you today and to have the chance to introduce our commencement speaker, Pastor Tony. Pastor Tony graduated from Avondale College with a BA in Theological Studies and from La Sierra University with a BA in Religious Studies. He completed his master's degree in pastoral ministry at Andrews University. He is currently the lead pastor for the New Plymouth and Stratford Seventh-day Adventist churches in New Zealand. Pastor Tony was our class Bible teacher for the 2018-2019 school year. Although he was only our Bible teacher for 1 year, he made a large impact on our class with his humor, which included jokingly insulting us, his pride for Australia, no, I'm just kidding, New Zealand, and his down-to-earth nature. Pastor Tony had a mission to connect and help grow every single student, both spiritually and as an individual. I think I can speak for my class when I say his Bible class was by far the most exciting, interesting, and memorable Bible class. Pastor Tony's mission was to challenge us spiritually in our beliefs and in our understanding of the Bible. Many of the topics were difficult, and many ended in extensive and sometimes heated debate. When asked a question, Pastor Tony would, instead of answering, ask us even more challenging questions to make us think. That Bible class was at times frustrating, especially when it came to projects, which tended to end with Pastor Tony explaining that our class had no idea how to use PowerPoint correctly. But Pastor Tony succeeded in teaching us to challenge everything and to grow from it. Pastor Tony, I admire your courage in attempting to teach our very non-communicative class, and the 2020 class is very thankful for all that you have taught us and the patience and attention you gave to us as a whole and individually. So without a further ado, Pastor Tony.
The class of 2020, it's Pastor Tony here. You know, I'll be honest, I did not expect to be doing this at all. And I for sure did not expect to be doing it like this for you guys. but I'm super stoked to be with you. When Abby texted me and said, we'd still like you to come and do our graduation speech, graduation commencement, I was blown away. To come back from New Zealand to the US, I was so happy to be able to be there with you guys, and I really need to go to Target. But we'll have to save that for another time. You know, I can be honest with you guys, right? Because in Bible class, I was always honest. I was pretty open with you all. And I got to tell you, you guys kicked my butt every day for a year. And I told you that first day when I started teaching you that I love all of you guys already. You are my students. I loved you. And I can tell you honestly today that I still love you. But you guys, I think you kind of accepted it as a challenge. Let's see if this guy is for real. What can we do to make him double think about whether or not he really loves us? I gotta tell you, whatever you did, it really, really challenged me. As a teacher, as a human being, you almost broke me. But I love you guys, so you can't break me. I am here with you in spirit today, and I'm so ecstatic and excited for you guys to be graduating today. You are an exceptional class, and that hardcoreness that you brought on me on that first day and every day of class, the cold stares you gave me, the deafening silence when I asked a question, all of that personality, and you know, the biggest thing that you guys challenged me with is making me work so hard to get a laugh. But the laughs did come. But you made me work for it every single moment. But you know what? All of that makes you who you are as a class, that makes you who you are as a group of individuals, is exactly what got you through this year. That spirit you have as a class is going to get you through so much in life. And most amazing about you lot is that you guys stuck together. No one broke rank. You rose together, you fell together. You have an indomitable spirit that can't be broken, and that togetherness has given you strength. And this year especially, that spirit is what you have needed. And so today, as I share with you, to you guys, the class of 2020, to the faculty and staff of Mile High, to the parents and family who are here, and especially for our friend Maya, who isn't, I am honored to be here with you today, because I cannot imagine what you guys have experienced. I have not ever experienced that kind of thing in my life. In fact, as you look around at the cars in front of you, at your teachers, your parents, there is perhaps no one who has experienced what you have experienced. And all I can say is, man, that sucks. It really sucks. You have experienced something unprecedented. That these words that I'm telling you today, I almost feel a little ashamed for me to be talking to you when you have so much to teach me. But you know what? I saw a stand-up routine by Jerry Seinfeld, and he kind of sums it up really well in the way he talks about things sucking and how it's pretty close to great.
Of human life, everyone's life sucks. It's okay. Never feel bad that your life sucks. The greatest lesson you can learn in life, sucks and great are pretty close. They're not that different. Then you go to a baseball game, you have a hot dog. The hot dog is cold. The bun is not toasted. The vendor is an ex-con in a work release program. You love that hot dog every time. Does it suck? Yes. Is it great? Yes. That's how close they are. Sucks and great are the only two ratings people even give to anything anymore. Hey, let's go see that new movie. I heard it's great. Really? I heard it sucked. How could it suck? It's supposed to be great. I heard the beginning is great, and then after that it sucks. Oh, that sucks. I know. It could have been great. I say to you that sucks and great are the exact same thing. You have an ice cream cone, you're walking down the street, the ice cream falls off the top of the cone, hits the pavement, sucks. What do you say? Great.
So you can see, I think that's true, what he said. Sucks is very close to great. And I want to illustrate that for you a little bit. Because, like I said, almost no one here at graduation knows what it's like for you, for what you're going through. I certainly don't know what it's like. To have your world turned upside down in the way it has done this year, your senior year of all years. You were going through something that perhaps only centenarians or maybe people in their 90s might understand. So I want to introduce you to two folks today who fit that description. Centenarians. These two people, like many others of their age, they're few and far between, but they grew up in an era when America was going through so much. They were born almost into the Great Depression. They came after World War I. Things thought, wow, this is going to be a great time of peace for the world, but then everything collapsed. They saw folks lose their businesses, lose their farms, their jobs, their hopes, their dreams, and even their lives. They would have heard stories of loved ones who didn't make it through the last pandemic of 1918. And then to add insult to injury, as they grew up in that Great Depression, many of them experienced the Dust Bowl of the 30s. And just as life was beginning to get back to some resemblance of normality, war came to the world. And as the world was plunged into war, America did its best to stay out of the craziness of Europe. But yet, on December 7, 1941, the war came to our shores as Japanese air and navy forces attacked Pearl Harbor in Hawaii. December 7, 1941, a day that will live in infamy. And the days that you are living today are also days that will be infamous. And I want to introduce you to this first person. She was about to get married in that December of 1941. She was born on March 23, 1919. That's right, she just turned 101 2 months ago. Her eyes have seen things unmatched by almost anyone on the earth right now. And in December of 1941, in the wake of Pearl Harbor, her fiancé sent her a telegram saying, you know what? I know what's coming. If you don't want to get married, I understand. But she declined the offer, and they were married 10 days later. After Pearl Harbor was bombed on December 7, they were married on December 17, 1941. Her name is Lucille Claridge. Some of you might know her. And 5 months after her wedding, exactly what her fiancé, now husband, had predicted came to be, and he was drafted into the United States Army. 5 months into their marriage. Lucille went to Union College. She lived in St. Helena, California, and worked at St. Helena Sanitarium. And she transferred to Glendale, California, to work for the Voice of Prophecy. While she continued to work, to use her skills, her husband fought a war. Her generation, because of these environments that she grew up in and that she came to of age in and that she experienced in her 20s, this generation has become known as the greatest generation. I asked her what she thought of that, being called the greatest generation, and she said, well, I've never heard that before, but I think it's pretty awesome. She then offered some thoughts on your graduation. Her advice was to stay true to what you have known. to what you have been taught by your teachers, by your parents, by your friends. Stay true to that and just go on. Just go on in the way. And she quoted the words between God and Joshua that are so perfect for you. She said, "Be strong and courageous. The Lord is with you." You know, Lucille is still going. She attends Littleton Church. She plays the piano from time to time in Sabbath school. You know, seek her out. She has perspectives that blow my mind and surely will blow your mind with such scope and wisdom that not many people know. In referencing this great generation, Tom Brokaw says in his book with the same name that, quote, "they answered the call to help save the world. They faced great odds and a late start, but they did not protest. As Lucille says, they just went on." When all was said and done, the enemy was defeated. Her husband returned home. But they, along with many others of their generation, had to rebuild America, rebuild the world. And they built our nation into the economic and cultural powerhouse that it is today. They invested in family. They gave birth to another generation called baby boomers. Okay, boomer. They invested in higher education like no society ever has done on the history of the world. And they were generous. They were faithful. They worked hard. They weren't perfect. No generation is. They were unable to face the hideousness of racism. They fell for conspiracies like McCarthyism, two things that are still a struggle for us today. But they went on together. The second person I want to introduce you today, her name is Martha Settle Putney. An African American from Pennsylvania, she worked tirelessly to undo one of those things that many in her generation, the great generation, couldn't. She was determined to go to college, and she saved up enough money to send herself for the first year. She attended Howard University, and she began studying history. She was also recruited by a congressional candidate to canvass black votes. She didn't vote for the candidate, but she did the canvassing, and out of that, he worked to get her a scholarship for the remainder of her time at Howard University, and she graduated with a bachelor's in history and a master's in modern European history. Though she was unable to land a job teaching, she didn't want to do what most others were doing. In her community in Pennsylvania, many of the black women were only able to get domestic help jobs. And so she joined the War Manpower Commission in Washington, D.C. And as she went to D.C., she was immediately presented with the endemic of racism in Washington. And so she just couldn't take it and resigned her post and volunteered for the newly formed Women's Auxiliary Army Corps. This corps was converted to active duty status on July 1st, 1943, and she knew that this war was going to be a turning point, the turning point of the century, she said, and she wanted to profit from it when it was over. She was selected as only one of 40 African American women to serve in the Corps, and she was given the rank of lieutenant. She was stationed in Iowa and continued to see the racism that was so prevalent in DC, but even in more shocking ways. German officers, prisoners of war, were given access to places that African American officers could not have access to. They were banned from performing in the bass band. Banned from performing in the bass band. So they made their own band. Their band was the first all-female black band in the country. But orders came down from Washington that their band should disband. Can you believe that? So she raised the issue quietly with her superior officer, and the word got out, and bit by bit it even got all the way up to the White House, to the First Lady named Eleanor Roosevelt. Let's just say that through the work of Martha, with Eleanor, they got their band back together. And she was personally responsible for the desegregation of the swimming pool at her base in Iowa. You know, after the war ended, her foresight was rewarded. Taking advantage of the GI Bill, she enrolled at the University of Pennsylvania, and she achieved her PhD in history. And Dr. Martha Putney attributes her success in life to the opportunities afforded by the war. She was hired by Bowie State University and then Howard, her alma mater, and she went on to do such great work in history. And she was even there on the day on the Washington Mall, and she heard these famous words from Martin Luther King, from Dr. Martin Luther King, "I have a dream." And she continued to fight that others may share in that dream, that dream might be realized. Out of adversity and difficulty, these two people succeeded. And out of this season of your life, I know you will too. More than I can imagine, more than I can achieve, I have not experienced what you have experienced wherever you go. Some of you to Union, some to PUC or Walla Walla, others to UC San Diego or CSU or the Air Force, wherever you go. And whatever you study, nursing, finance, or graphic design, medicine, chemistry, biology, whatever you do, just go on. Some of you are even undecided. And don't let anyone tell you that that's not a courageous thing to say, that you are undecided. Just go on. You know, the Bible says in Genesis chapter 50 and verse 20, whatever you intended for harm to me, God intended for good, in order to preserve a numerous people as he is doing today. Class of 2020, whatever is intended to harm you, it's not going to work. God intends this for your good, for your greatness. But perhaps my favorite verse for this time comes from Hebrews chapter 11. And one particular word jumps out at me. We. Listen, from verse 32 of chapter 11 of Hebrews, it goes like this. And what more should I say about Lucille, about Martha? For time would fail me to tell you of Gideon and Barak and Samson and Jephthah and David and Samuel and the prophets, who through faith conquered kingdoms, administered justice, obtained promises, shut the mouths of lions, quenched raging fire, escaped the edge of the sword, won strength out of weakness, became mighty in war, put foreign armies to flight. Women received their dead by resurrection. Others were tortured, refusing to accept release in order to obtain a better resurrection. Others suffered mocking and flogging and even chains and imprisonment. They were stoned to death. They were sawn in two. They were killed by the sword. They went about in skins of sheep and goats, destitute, persecuted, tormented, of whom the world was not worthy. They wandered in deserts and mountains and caves and in holes in the ground. Yet all these, though they were commended for their faith, did not receive what was promised, since God had provided something better, so that they would not, apart from us, be made perfect. Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight. Let us lay aside every weight and sin that clings so closely, and let us run with perseverance the race that is set before us. Let us look to Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith, who for the sake of joy that was set before him endured the cross, disregarded its shame, and has taken his seat at the right hand of the throne of God. Class of 2020, the Bible says, we are surrounded by such a cloud of witnesses, a great cloud of witnesses, and we will run the race with perseverance. You are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses. You are running a race with perseverance, perseverance that I will never know. You may be going to different places, doing different things, but one thing that I encourage you to do is stick together as a class. Hold tight to these friendships. As I read through your bios, one of the things that kept on coming up, the thing that you want to do after the lockdown ends, was to hang out together, was to be with your friends. Stay close to one another wherever life takes you. Go through together. I think that you guys are going to be great. I think that you may even be greater. I think that you are going to be a part of that great cloud of witnesses, just like that great generation. They fell, they rose together. We and you are in this together. Hold on to those people right there next to you. Never let them go. We are in this together. You will be great. You are great. I want to share with you as we close today a little video from the King Country that has been inspiring to me during this time, and hopefully it's inspiring to you as well as you embark on this next leg of your journey.
This is for the busted hearts. This is for the question marks. This is for the outcast soul, lost control, no one knows. Sing it for the can't go back. Sing it for the broken past. Sing it for the just found out life is now upside down. If you're looking for hope tonight, raise your hand. If you feel alone and don't understand, if you're fighting the fight of your life, then stand. We're gonna make it through this hand in hand. And if we fall, we will fall together. Together.
This is for the second chance. This is for the new romance. Singing for the left in vain. Overcame. It's not too late.
If you're looking for hope tonight, raise your hand. If you feel alone and don't understand, if you're fighting the fight of your life, then stand. We're gonna make it through this hand in hand. And if we fall, we will fall together. Together. When we rise, we will rise together. Together. Listen, if you're looking for hope tonight, you're all alone. If you're feeling alone tonight, and you feel if you're at the fight of your life, I can promise we're gonna make it happen. I will be by your side. By your side. It's in the air tonight. Can you feel it? I will be seeing the light. Whenever and wherever, just as long as we're together. Say, we fall, we will fall together. I got you, my brother. I see you, my sister. When we rise, we will rise together.
together with our differences. Together we are bolder, braver, stronger.
On behalf of the class of 2020, I want to thank Pastor Tony Parrish for your words of encouragement and advice. We will take the lesson you taught us today and use them in our journey beyond Maya High. We can use all the advice we can get, and we will cherish the lesson you have taught us forever. Thank you, Tony Parrish.
Hello. Congratulations, Mile High Academy class of 2020. Your hard work has paid off, and even in the face of a pandemic, you've accomplished this major life milestone, earning your high school diploma. We affirm your choice to invest in an Adventist education, and Union College may be a great next step as you work toward a rewarding career that allows you to joyfully live out God's calling for your life. We will do everything in our power to help you succeed, including providing a life coach for each freshman, learning diagnostics, extensive tutoring and personal mentoring, a strong spiritual community, and professors committed to providing experiences that will grow you into a successful leader. Union believes that an Adventist education should be available to anyone who wants it, and that is why we offer scholarships to make your college experience more affordable than you might think. This includes academic achievement scholarships up to $11,000 per year, need-based scholarships up to $2,000 per year, personalized scholarships for involvement, leadership, and legacy up to $1,500 per year. Plus, there are other work-based scholarships and federal aid that can save you many, many thousands more. Union also offers free tuition for students with a high school GPA of 3.9 and an ACT score of 33. Normally, we would deliver your scholarship in person, but you will receive your personal Union College Scholarship Award in the mail soon. I encourage you to fill out the free application for federal student aid, or the FAFSA, as soon as possible to discover how much financial aid you are eligible for as well. If your family has experienced major challenges due to the coronavirus, we may be able to help you access more aid than even what the FAFSA indicates. We look forward to welcoming students back to our campus this fall. And even though the pandemic may require us to do things a little differently, we are committed to providing the personal experience to our students that makes Union so special. We will do everything possible to keep our students safe, including extensive sanitation of all our learning and living spaces, and all the other best practices recommended by our local health officials. Plus, Lincoln is one of the safest communities in the country with excellent health care, and we have our own health service nurse right on the campus. If you haven't visited our campus, or even if you have, I encourage you to schedule a virtual visit this summer. You'll get to chat with professors, enrollment counselors, and financial aid counselors who can help you get everything ready for the next step of your journey. Please reach out if you have any questions. You can find everything you need to know, including our contact information, at ucollege.edu. I look forward to meeting you soon here on campus.
Before the presentation of the Above and Beyond Award, I want to acknowledge the team of committed faculty, staff, and administrators we have here at Mile High Academy. These professionals daily pour into your children, the students that we are so honored to serve. They are committed to providing your students with a quality education and modeling the cherished core values of choosing to be Christ-centered, conducting themselves with honor, making the professional choice to be explorers, modelers of responsibility, integrity, and service, and as opportunities present themselves, are plainclothes heroes. The teachers and staff not only teach our students about Bible, math, science, reading, writing, history, music, and athletics, they pray with and for their students and help navigate the sometimes challenging movement from one developmental stage to the next. It is both my honor and my privilege to lead the acknowledgement of the work they do, investing in student lives both spiritually and academically. Answering God's call to Adventist education is truly choosing a way of life. It is absolutely a family decision. I want to formally recognize how generously the families of our faculty, staff, and administrators share their moms, dads, spouses, daughters, and sons with the Mile High Academy family. The Above and Beyond Award. Previous recipients include Tyler Rettler, Maxine Gerst, Jerson Malagat, Brian Howard, and Brenda Rohde. When considering the recipients for this award, numerous factors are taken into consideration, including professionalism, leadership, cherished core values, and their overall impact on Mile High Academy. The 2020 Above and Beyond recipient graduated from Mile High Academy and returned here to teach in 2013. She is a consummate professional. In terms of leadership, she is the absolute rock of the MHA Middle School. Her impact on students is an example of the reason why parents choose Adventist education. When her colleagues have heavy hearts, she is a go-to listening ear, utilizing the utmost discretion. She is a prayer warrior, immediately inviting prayer for both praises and concerns. Her spiritual gift is understanding and relating to middle school age students. She is a fierce advocate of her Hispanic heritage, challenging our students to engage in immersion activities both in and out of school. She is a voice for those unable to use their voice, and her sense of justice runs deeply. Her booming, engaging voice can be heard beyond the walls of her room. In her classroom, there is joy. There is hands-on, relevant learning. There is choice, and there are student presentations, and there is Jesus. Students, staff, and parents are the ready recipients of her bright, warm smile and contagious laugh. She cares deeply for students and their families. She is, without exception, who you want with you in the trenches. Please join me in recognizing Mrs. Christina Hernandez as the 2020 recipient of the Above and Beyond Award. The Student of the Year Award recognizes the student that has excelled academically while participating in the overall upper school experience, especially during their senior year. The 2020 Mile High Academy Student of the Year recipient is Jocelyn Curiel. With a grade point average of 4.29, Jocelyn is the valedictorian. This includes 4 dual credit courses. In addition to exemplifying academic excellence, Jocelyn has been the class president since 8th grade, the volleyball captain her junior and senior years, the soccer captain her junior year, and a member of National Honor Society. For this past season in volleyball, Jocelyn was named to the All-League first team, and in basketball, the All-League second team. Her favorite Bible verse is Psalm 16:8. I have set Jehovah always before me. Because he is at my right hand, I shall not be moved. Jocelyn will be attending Walla Walla University to study bioengineering. Congratulations, Jocelyn. The Caring Heart Award originated with the North American Division and Mid-America Union Education Departments, combining to recognize one junior or senior with a strong citizenship record, demonstrating evidence of a personal commitment to witnessing or service activities, and who serves as an example to the entire student body of their respective academy. The recipient receives a $500 scholarship award to assist either with the payment of a mission trip experience or as tuition assistance to an Adventist school. It is my pleasure to announce that the 2020 Caring Heart Award recipient for Mile High Academy is Brooke Henry. Brooke is a natural spiritual leader. She cares deeply about her friends, her school community, and seeks to bring life and joy to those around her. When you spend time with her, you can't help but experience her kind nature, her love for Jesus, and her desire to serve. Among other activities, Brooke served as one of the managers for both the soccer and basketball teams, was part of the yearbook staff, participates in campus ministries, and is the religious vice president for the junior class. Upper school students fondly view her as a school mom and endearingly refer to her as Mama Brooke. There is no doubt Mile High Academy is blessed to have her as part of the family. Congratulations, Brooke. Teachers work in the lives of their students for just a season, but their impact continues. From the academic lessons that were taught to the example of Christ-like conduct that each teacher sets, and the student-teacher relationship itself, the impact continues. It is at this time that we recognize that the season will change for some of our staff members. Mr. Kyle Berg. Mr. Berg joined Mile High Academy 4 years ago. During that time, he has taught in both the middle and upper schools, language arts, social studies, yearbook, psychology, and reading and writing. Some student favorites were his book choices, including The Last Lecture, a project to choose an item and explain how it is used to spread the gospel, the use of folders to help foster study skills, playing basketball and having a push-up prediction contest with his students. He encouraged reading and writing, grammar and creativity, as well as the value of earning a privilege and keeping your word. His colleagues could count on a team player willing to bring a solution to a discussion, a guardian of time, and insightful personal worships. Mr. Berg will continue helping others, but will do so in the mental health field. He will pursue a master's degree and to work as a clinical mental health counselor. Miss Jackie Walker. Miss Walker made a commitment to share the first 2 years of her teaching career with Mile High Academy students. In her classroom, her students enjoyed lots of book choices, experiments, a dive into the challenges of drought for Colorado agriculture, and making cinnamon rolls in the school kitchen. Her colleagues were blessed with a ready smile, family worship stories, and earnest prayer. Miss Walker's gifts will continue to be a blessing to those she interacts with in and out of the workplace. Mr. Christopher Morris. Mr. Morris shared an essential year with Mile High Academy and our students. He brought a vast knowledge of Scripture, showing students how powerful a dramatic memorized recitation of the book of Ephesians could be. He brought music and joyfully shared it in the middle school worship leading elective, chapel, and numerous other events. He brought baptism class to middle school students, and he brought a dedicated year of facilitating student mastery of math concepts. For the staff and administrators, he brought an ever-ready handshake, a personal check-in, and creative worships that kept us reflecting. We are so pleased that Mr. Morris will be staying within the Mile High Academy community at the Littleton SDA Church, and that he will remain on staff here.
For this year's class gift, we will be getting a new trophy case for the school, and we will also be creating a scholarship in Maya's honor to help a student with financial aid next year. Next, we wanted to thank some of the people that helped our class tremendously this year. First, we would like to thank our administration team for going above and beyond to ensure the academic and emotional well-being of all students. Thank you all for caring so much about us and being helpful and ready to solve any problems we may have. I also want to specifically shout out Mrs. Frayne for being an amazing support for our seniors. I am so glad she became our principal, and I'm thankful we got to grow closer to her this year. Our administration team consists of hard workers who help keep this school functioning. Next, we would like to thank Mrs. Dean, who doesn't have any students left here at Mile High, but she has always been here for all the staff and students here. She always brightens our day every day that we see her. Thank you for always bringing Starbucks and other various treats for us and really checking in on us after we lost Maya. You're a mentor to many of us, and we all love you very much, especially me.
I would like to thank Howard and Tiker for pushing us seniors to get our work done, pushing us to be great at what we do. No matter what we've been through, they've always been there for us. I just want to thank them for that. You guys were great senior sponsors of the year, and we appreciate you guys. Thank you.
There's no good way to start thanking Mr. Rettler because he practically keeps this school running. Mr. Rettler puts in long hours to help us make sure everything gets taken care of. In fact, he is the one here now filming and making all of these videos possible. Thank you for never getting frustrated with us, no matter how many computer, keycard, or RenWeb problems we may have on top of others. Your hard work does not go unnoticed. We also want to thank all of the parents who helped with our main fundraiser this year, which was our Pizza Hot Lunch. These parents donated a lot of their time and energy picking up pizzas for our class and delivering them to the school. So thank you to my mom, Mrs. Raymond, Mrs. Ruiz, and Pastor Mack. We have cards for you as well.
The class of 2020. When you choose Jesus, there will be no trials or pain in your life. Ha! I would expect you to be shaking your heads and thinking this lady is mistaken. On the contrary, the Bible is very clear about our need for courage, perseverance, resilience, and passion. Here at Mile High Academy, we refer to this as grit. We want you all to be as gritty as you can be, meaning that you all possess and practice these characteristics. You are the class born in the shadow of the worst terrorist attack in our nation's history. You are the class that grew up with the knowledge of school shootings, including one a couple of miles from here last year, that continues the new norm of being inundated with unprecedented amounts of information. In addition to the losses outside of school during your journey to this point, you are the class that suffered the tragic loss of Maya, and you are the class whose formal launch into adulthood takes place as a drive-in commencement during a global pandemic. How great is our God that there is so much wisdom in his scripture about grit. Paul, Peter, and James, to name a few, share some specifics with us. Courage. Not just physical bravery, but triumph over fear, taking chances when others will not, standing up for your beliefs, having faith, patience, and the ability to forgive, staying the course alone. Perseverance, focusing not on the pain, but on the doorway to something greater, pushing steadfastly toward a goal, not with continuous practice, but with practice with a purpose. Resilience, the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties, possessing a strong moral compass, refusing to compare yourself to others, and viewing problems as opportunities for change. Passion fosters excellence, is often selfless, a love for the success of others, driving toward the goal responsibly, but asking for help when needed. The class of 2020 is gritty. The choice of Christian education means that you have a foundation that won't limit you, that you can return to time and again, that you can share with others, that will inspire and direct you, and that will help you rise above the places you may find yourself. Luke 12:48. To whom much has been given, much will be expected. The class of 2020 is as gritty as they come. Every part of your journey has helped to make you the individuals that you are today. Everyone here at Mile High Academy will be pulling for you as you fulfill the expectation that you will go into the world and benefit others with your talents, knowledge, time, and other spiritual gifts. We will be praying you through the struggles and praising your successes. Alas, it is my most sincere honor to officially declare that the esteemed and notoriously gritty class of 2020 has graduated. Congratulations.
Ain't nothing better than watching you smile. Whoa, 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 whoa. Ain't nothing better than watching you laugh out loud, my baby. Ain't nothing better than watching you be you. Ain't nothing better than right now. In your eyes lie the secrets I don't wanna miss. Put your hand in my hand and make a fist. Grab my shirt, curl your lip as if you know. Staring back in my eyes saying please don't go. I don't know what I know, what I know, what I know what it is that you really, really want or you need. I hate every moment away from you. I see you sleeping in my dreams. I know you're in your mother's arms. I know that you're safe from harm. You know I'm coming home real soon, and I'm bringing all my love for you. Ain't nothing better than watching you smile. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ain't nothing better than watching you laugh out loud, my baby. Ain't nothing better than watching you be you. Ain't nothing better than right now. And I can't take away the pain if I don't know you're hurting again. I can't leave you on your own if I know you're crying all alone. And my heart's pumping black and blues. That's how I feel when I'm not with you. A million years pass every day, losing the time, I'm always on my way. I don't know what I know, what I know, what I know what to do. I hope you understand when I'm gone. I'll always come back home for you. Open your eyes to a brand new dawn. Ain't nothing better than watching you smile. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ain't nothing better than watching you laugh out loud, my baby. Ain't nothing better than watching you be you. Ain't nothing better than right now. Let us have this moment of truth. Let us have this moment, our youth. Let us have this moment of truth. Let us have this moment, our youth. 'Cause all my time goes so fast. I hope my life slows so this can last. All my time goes so fast. I hope my life slows so this can last. Ain't nothing better than watching you smile. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ain't nothing better than watching you laugh out loud, my baby. Ain't better than watching you be you. Ain't nothing better than right now. Ain't nothing better than watching you smile. Whoa, whoa. Ain't nothing better than watching you laugh out loud, my baby. Ain't nothing better than watching you be you. Ain't nothing better than right now.
When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I could offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. When the evening shadows and the stars appear and there is no one there to dry your tears, I could hold you for a million years to make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I will never do you wrong. I've known it from the moment that we met. No doubt in my mind where you belong. I'd go hungry, I go black and blue. I go crawling down the avenue. No, there's nothing that I wouldn't do to make you feel my love.
Rocky Mountain Conference Vice President of Education Lonnie Hetterly, I have the honor of presenting the 18 candidates for graduation of Mile High Academy Class of 2020 on behalf of the Mile High Academy School Board and Administration. They have successfully completed the requirements of the North American Division of Seventh-day Adventist Education Standards for graduation. May I now request the confirmation of their graduation?
It is my pleasure and honor, on behalf of the Rocky Mountain Conference and the Mid-America Office of Education, to officially recognize the graduating class of 2020 and to affirm that each graduate has completed and passed all academic requirements as stipulated by both the State of Colorado and the AAA Accrediting Association of Seventh-day Adventist colleges, schools, and universities. Mile High administration and staff, you are now authorized to grant these diplomas. Congratulations, graduates, and may God bless you abundantly as you take on your new roles, your new challenges, and new opportunities. Please continue to make your school, your family, and your church proud. Again, congratulations.
Jocelyn Sophia Curiel Ruiz, Honors Diploma, Valedictorian, Summa Cum Laude, Senior Class President, National Honor Society. Abigail Faye Harris, Honors Diploma, Salutatorian, Summa Cum Laude, Senior Class Vice President, National Honor Society. Kaylin John McCautry, College Prep Diploma, Senior Class Pastor. Anna Isabel Caraveo, Honors Diploma, Summa Cum Laude, Senior Class Secretary, National Honor Society. Amanda Sazmita, Honors Diploma, Summa Cum Laude, Senior Class Sergeant at Arms, National Honor Society. Lucas James Carveth, College Prep Diploma, Magna Cum Laude. McJovins Fiev, General Diploma. Brian Lewis Falkenberg, College Prep Diploma, Magna Cum Laude. Andrew William Frayne, College Prep Diploma, magna cum laude. Songyu Gu, College Prep Diploma, cum laude, graduating from China. Jaya Tari Harris, College Prep Diploma, cum laude. Lu Zhuan, College Prep Diploma, cum laude. Amen. Rachel Nyanzima, Honors Diploma, summa cum laude, National Honor Society. Maya Evelyn Pena, Honorary General Diploma. Fasti Quintana Martinez, College Prep Diploma, magna cum laude. Emily Christine Raymond, General Diploma, cum laude. Talia Charisse Waller, Honors Diploma, summa cum laude, National Honor Society. Wang Yuan, Honors Diploma, Magna Cum Laude, National Honor Society, graduating from China.
Good afternoon. My name is Brandon Nudd, and I'm blessed to be able to serve on the Mile High Academy School Board. When we think about high school as a metaphorical mountain, you have long since departed base camp. You have persevered to summit camp. There has been value in each step of the journey, a strengthening that takes place and wisdom that has been acquired that you can use as you seek the summit. You know it can be done as you stand on the shoulders of the students that have gone before you. You can imagine what it will be like to wear the cap and the gown and to proudly accept your diploma a year from now. Similar to summiting Everest, an unparalleled feeling, that being on top of the world, an euphoria that you have not yet felt anywhere before. The challenge between summit camp and the summit is to continue the cherish core values which helped you arrive at summit camp. Pray, seek Jesus, hunger for Scripture, choose to conduct yourself with honor, integrity, and responsibility. Read, study, academically do your very best. Participate in music, sports, essay, or campus ministries. Rely on each other and serve each other. You each have the staff and administration of Mile High Academy in your church to support you as you climb. Even Everest is a climb to be savored and enjoyed, not rushed. On behalf of Mile High Academy School Board, know that we have been pulling for you during your summit to climb as you meet your spiritual, academic, musical, athletic, social, and service-related goals. It will be my sincere pleasure to be here next year to celebrate each of your accomplishments as a graduating class of 2021.
Hey, Jocelyn, pass me that hand sanitizer. Thanks.
It is my honor this afternoon to welcome the class of 2020 to the Distinguished, Influential, and Privileged Alumni Association of Mile High Academy. While we cannot have our alumni stand today, we would still like to honor the alumni of MHA. Over 100 years ago, a vision for education was realized in a small one-room school here in Denver. And in 1963, Denver Junior Academy changed its name to Mile High Academy, where in the spring of 1964, the first graduating class graduated. 56 years later, we stand here to celebrate your accomplishments and usher you into the next phase of your journey. The span of time you have been at Mile High varies. I would like to acknowledge a few of our seniors who have attended MHA since preschool: Anna, Ryan, Abby, and Amanda. However, whether you have attended MHA for 15 years or 1 year, you will always be a part of the MHA family. Each of you put in long hours, sacrificed time and energy to get here today. In the grand scheme of life, this will be but a moment, and in just a few short months, it will seem like it was a lifetime ago. Today, you are seeing the benefits that your hard work has resulted in, pride in your accomplishments, and the admiration of those looking on. Congratulations to the 56th graduating class of MHA.
Please bow your heads for prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this day. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to all be together, even if it wasn't in the way we first expected. Thank you so much for all that you've done for our class. Thank you for giving us each other to lean on and to have such an amazing family with each other. Thank you for leading us all the way to this amazing, monumental moment in our lives. And I ask that you would continue to lead us throughout the rest of our lives and help us to make decisions that will lead us closer to you. Thank you for all that you do, and thank you for this special day. Please be with us throughout the rest of the year and the decisions we make after we graduate. In your name I pray, amen.
Congratulations one more time, class of 2020. At this time, the graduates, you can release your balloons, and families and friends, if you will please wait in your vehicles to be released by Mr. Howard or Mr. Weber. Thank you for coming today.
Hope when you take that jump, you don't feel the fall. Hope when the water rises, you built a wall. Hope when the crowd screams out, you're screaming your name. Hope if everybody runs, you choose to stay.